Okay, guys, so this is part 4 of the 223 rifle build. We're going to discuss in this video the prep work for the Duracoating of the rifle. Hope you guys are pay attention and watch these videos. A lot of the stuff that's covered in these videos is directly related to what we're going over in class. So that's kind of why I'm going through the process of building these two different rifles so that you can see how it's applied into real world applications. Okay, so this rifle has been bedded. It is chambered. It is every barrel's cut, crowned, all that stuff. It's bedded. It's ready to go. It's ready for the next step. The next step is we're going to go through and we're going to finish the metal and we're going to finish the stock. So let's talk about modern finishes of what you're going to expect or what you're going to do as a builder. So modern finishes that we have usually involve some sort of coating, okay? Some sort of Duracoat, a Cerakote, some of the other machine type mechanical coatings that put on there are available as well. But for the most part, the Cerakoting and Duracoating is what we're going to be looking at. I really do not have an opinion one way or the other of which one is better, the Duracoat or the Cerakote. They're both in an application which is basically paint. It is a paint that is being applied to the firearm and to the stock. So, but it's not just your ordinary paint, it's an epoxy-based resin paint. So it also protects and seals and adds a bit of strength to what we're doing in building a rifle as well. Most of the time, the stuff that you're going to provide for a customer is going to be one form or the other, a Duracoat or a Cerakote. I personally lean towards Duracoating, not because I think it's better, not because I think it's better than Cerakote, so to speak. It's something that I can do in my shop, within the confines here of my shop. I don't have to send it out. Cerakoting requires a lot more, I guess you'd say, equipment in order to do. It's kind of like rust bluing. I do think rust bluing is superior to chemical bluing, but I mainly do rust bluing because I can do it here in my shop I don't need a whole bunch of equipment. Cerakoting, you need, an area about the size of my shop actually to do it correctly. So I don't have that. So Duracoating is an option for a small shop, self-employed, custom firearm builder. Duracoating is learning how to do it correctly is a skill. It's a skill because if you apply Duracoat incorrectly, it looks, thick and goopy on there. If you learn how to use it correctly and you learn how to do your prep work correctly, you can't tell the difference. It is thin. I can get it as thin as any Cerakote application. So, and that took me a little bit of while. It took me some skill. It took me some practice to develop that skill. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video because that's the next step of the building process. When a rifle gets to this process right here, you're pretty close. Okay, you are pretty close to it being finished. And if you're being paid by someone, if you're close to being finished, you're close to being paid. You're close to collecting your paycheck. So what we're going to do in this video here is I'm going to strip this metal, the receiver, prep out the metal here, and I'm going to prep the stock too, okay, for Duracoating. So in this class, we're going to oil finish a wood stock. Okay, that's kind of the premise of this, finishing wood stocks. We're going to finish that stock. We're going to apply oil finish to it. We're going to sand it. We're going to fill the grain. We're going to do all that. So how often do you get that in your shop? How often do you get a laminate or a walnut stock build where you're going to do that? It's not very often. Okay, it's not very often. Most of the ones where I've done that have been my own personal builds. Okay, I had done one or two for other people, but this doesn't come along that often. What does come along, and it comes along a lot, is applying a modern finish, a modern coating to your composite stock. And I tell you, it's a good way to make money. There's pretty good margins in it. Okay, so and the better you get at it, the more work you're going to get. You might not have a custom build going on, but you might have maybe 4, 5, 6 custom coatings going on. Doing those little $300 coating jobs are what keeps the lights on in your shop in between doing your custom builds. Okay, so this happens a lot. You get this type of application a lot, and it's going to be part of future classes where we're going to do oil finishing, sand filling, the grain and wood stocks, walnut stocks, laminate stocks. But we're also going to do these stocks as well, these composite stocks. We're also going to go through the process of Duracoating or Cerakoting them, okay? Because that is a big part of the industry. It's probably the biggest part of the actual finishing of a stock nowadays is some sort of epoxy paint application, okay? So for this particular build, I'm not gonna get too crazy. I haven't picked the colors out yet. I haven't ordered them yet. I'm gonna do some sort of brown on the stock, and I'm gonna do some sort of parkerized type finish, paint type finish, parkerized color, I should say, on the metal. Okay, I might do the barrel one color, the receiver one color, and the bolt another color. And that's things that you can do when you do your Duracoating. Is you can really get a custom paint job, something you can't get from the factory. Okay, so the stock is the same way. It's going to be one color. I may do some camo and whatnot in it. This came from the factory with this camo paint on it, but that's basically the next step. Okay, that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to prep the metal, I'm going to prep out the stock and go through everything on the stock. So the preparation when we do this stuff is these little things that we get on the stock. These right here, these are blems. They're from when I was bedding it. It's some bedding compound. I'm gonna sand all these out. Okay, I'm gonna sand all the stuff out here. I'm gonna get all the stuff prepped up in here. When I was cleaning up the epoxy bedding from this bed job, I kind of squared off a couple corners here. I'm gonna go back and finish all that out. So that's what we're gonna be doing here. We're gonna be prepping it out in this video so you guys can kind of watch and see that process of what's needed. You're gonna need some basic stuff to do this. You're gonna need some sanding blocks. You know how I like to use sanding blocks. This is my 220, actually this is 220, 150, 220, 320, 320. I mean, some of this on the metal, some naval jelly to strip this receiver down and the bolt down, and some acetone to come back and clean it up. Acetone is a good thing to have in your shop because it cleans everything. When you're epoxying things, you need to have good clean metal, so acetone is a good thing to do that. So anyway, we're gonna get to that here. Same thing in this video, like I've been doing the last few, I'm gonna put a lot of text into the video. I'm not gonna do a lot of commentary, just so I can try to keep these videos short, all right? Oh, yes. So we're pretty much prepped. So trying to keep these videos short, so I'm not getting into total tons of stuff. I'll do more of the finer points in class during demo lectures. But this is pretty much what you're looking to do. So you see, I got rid of all the leftover bedding that was hunked on it and whatnot. Sanded all that stuff off. Got a nice little texture going to the stock. That's about a 220 that's on it. That I sanded it right there. So that's good. We'll a little bit Scotch-Brite before I get in and actually start applying the color and the paint to it. And the metal, same thing. That's 220. I'll do a little more prep on the receiver to get it a little bit better. Like a shadow or something right there. Anyway, yeah, that's one of the benefits about doing your modern coating applications, is that instead of having to take this down to say a 320 or 400 with to blue it, to hot chemical blue it, or a 320 for a rust process, this is pretty close to being done. You don't have to, I'm not even sure I would need it to take the paint off the receiver to go over and apply the Duracoat, but it doesn't hurt, take it off and start with, nice raw metal. So yeah, that's one of the things. You can actually do this and do it in a pretty efficient manner and get a really good looking firearm when you're finished, a custom firearm when you're finished. So this is part 4, and next part we're going to do is I'm going to apply paint to these. Okay, all right. We're going to Duracoat them. I'm not sure. Say some sort of Parkerized color, greenish gray or something with this one, and some sort of brown with that. So something like that. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys.